the back. Inside Rexall plays for ace 3. Alongside Louis DeBrusque, 15 Principe. Into Horseman Quinn. Louis DeBrusque.
As we get set for the second
and we get set for game 3.
And the Anaheim Ducks. Let's meet the starting goaltenders. Brought to you as always by Tim Hortons, our Canada, our coffee. Kevin Dubnyk made 33 saves Friday in Colorado for his 13th win of the year. This will be start number 35 for him. 31-year-old Jonas Hiller has also won 13 games this year, but has dropped his last 2, including Friday in Calgary. The final on that one was 3-1. The Oilers, of course, beating Colorado on Friday by a score of 4-1. And we are underway. And Louis, the season now will not include Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, as he is getting ready for shoulder surgery. Here is short. And Horkoff centering pass for Timo Hartikainen, looking at the
sideline. For game 3.
Hartikainen back in the lineup, trying to make an impact early.
Energy line starting here for Ralph.
Hartikainen back in the lineup, trying to make an impact early.
Energy line starting here for Ralph Kruger, and a good job to get a puck in deep for Hartikainen. A healthy scratch last game. Obviously wants to come in and press early, so a good forecheck to get it off the dump of Jones and finds Horkoff in the slot. Sorry, it was Horkoff to Hartikainen. And it just goes off the foot of Koivu as it makes its way to the net. A good job by Hiller. And it just goes off the foot of Koivu as it makes its way to the net. A good job by Hiller.
Wrap it up. It's the battle of the Canucks.
Yeah, Hartikainen makes its way to the net. A good job by Hiller.
Wrap it up. It's the battle of the Canucks. Yeah, Hartikainen versus Solani. Joked with Hartikainen this morning about that and said, yeah, that number 8's pretty good.
The flash is better. Won't catch him very often, but when you do, you can do some damage.
Well, the thing they have in common, both guys didn't play Friday. Yep. Solani sat in that one. That was his decision. Back to the point. Tony Ludman's shot gets deflected just wide as the Ducks have their top line out there. Perry, Ryan, and Getzlaf. They are together. That is the top line that the Oilers did not see in the last game because Ryan Getzlaf was up to injury, and Perry takes the shot that goes just wide. Getzlaf with it again. Ryan Getzlaf fires it across the ice, and getting up with Perry. He centered it, but there is Jeff Petrie. So Petrie and Schmid, as usual, the shutdown pair. Here comes Talor Hall. He's flying in with Gagne 2-on-1. Hall, big shot, scores! And gets together, that's an injury, and Perry takes a shot that goes just wide. See, in the last game, because Ryan Getzlaf was up to an injury, and Perry takes a shot that the Oilers did not see in the last game, because Ryan Getzlaf was up to an injury, and Perry takes a shot that goes just wide. Getzlaf with it again. Ryan Getzlaf fires it across, and Perry takes a shot that goes just wide. Getzlaf with it again. Ryan Getzlaf fires it across the ice, and getting onto it with Perry. He centered it, but there is Jeff Petrie. So Petrie and Schmid, as usual, the shutdown pair. Here comes Talor Hall. He's flying in with Gagne 2-on-1. Hall, big shot, score! The shut up.
He just drills it right through. Walked in all over. He looks over. Gagne's hit in the fifth year. As Louis mentioned,
they just won assist right now, Louis, but that may change. Lander is out in front. Here is Manny Yakupov. To Lander. He is on that line with Magnus Piarvi being worked over there by big Brian Allen. Allen and the rookie, Semi Vatanen, on the ice right now. 45 is Semi Vatanen. We didn't see him the last time. Solani, we've seen a lot of him over the years. Same with Solani. Playing in his 79th game against the Edmonton Oilers.
900th game tonight, Kevin, as an Anaheim Duck. So a real tremendous career, and obviously has liked to play against Edmonton with 90 career points. So a guy they've always had to be aware of, like almost every other National Hockey League team has had to.
Starting lineup brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination. And of course, the big news is that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been lost for the rest of the season with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, Kevin, a real tough loss for the Oilers, and obviously Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been battling that injury very similar to Talor Hall ever since his junior days in the Red here. So it was a decision made by the team to get it done now, get him back a week earlier next year, and hopefully for the start of the season. But a tough loss when you lose a guy like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, but obviously you want to make him 100%, and we've seen what Talor Hall has done this year with that new shoulder, and it's worked well for him.
Let's take a look at the keys to the game brought to you by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. It's built Ford tough.
Well, for the Anaheim Ducks, Kevin, it's urgency. There's no question about it. This team is going to the playoffs, but they haven't played their best as of late, losing 4 straight. So they need to get things fine-tuned and back in, especially the power play that's only had 5 goals in their last 20. And for the Edmonton Oilers, it's a measuring stick. All 5 teams they played had 5 goals in their last to improve on for the remainder of the year.
Taylor Hall at it again against Francois Beauchemin. Eyes him up in the corner. Getzlaf trying to help out. Goes behind the net. Tony Lutman, the former Calgary Flame, plays it around the boards. It's chopped out by Perry and down the ice. And a race for it is picked up by Jeff Petrie. Petrie averaging the most of any Edmonton Oilers, almost 22 minutes a game. Ryan Allen will give it to Bobby Ryan. Ryan to Getzlaf. Getzlaf stops up, throws it towards net, tipped by Ryan. His stick was chopped in half. He couldn't do much about it there. Eberle tried to play behind the net. Instead, it came to Devan Dubnyk, and he decides. Eberle tried to play behind the net. Instead, it came to Devan Dubnyk, and he decides to hang on to it. So, with the Oilers' goal by Taylor Hall, swimming a big helmet guard at Safeway, a good idea for Susan Savage of Edmonton. She's won the Uber Wind Tunnel Air Vacuum, courtesy of Safeway. Congratulations, Susan, on the 15th goal of the season for Taylor Hall.
And for Taylor Hall, he loves Kevin to jump out in games early. 10 of his 15 goals and 22 points on the year have been in the first period. So obviously with that speed, likes to jump out of the gates and get things going.
His second career goal against the Anaheim Ducks in 8 games now. Still looking for his first helper, but he's got the goal that has the Oilers on top. Unger plays it back to Allen. Allen to Winnick. Winnick to the corner to an ex-Oiler and Andrew Cogliano. Cogliano goes cross ice to Allen. Allen steps into a shot, and that was blocked fearlessly. In fact, it broke the stick of Timo Hartikainen. He's got a new one, but his broken stick still out there. The Oilers, a top 10 side when it comes to blocking shots. They are the 10th best. And that has been something that has happened all year long for this team. No matter
3 points at the playoffs.
Got in front of pucks.
No question. It's a mentality. It's a team concept that they want to abide by. And everybody, when you see other guys in the team blocking shots, you're a little more apt to jump down and block one yourself. So it's contagious. And a few guys have led the way on this last speed. Obviously, number 1 on the team, Nick Sholts back there is tremendous at blocking shots as well. And when you see guys paying the price, you want to as well.
Anton area with the puck now turns. That's a shot goal, and here's another block turned in by Anton Landry. Magnus Bjorn just chips it down the ice, so the Oilers will make a change. A unique scheduling situation. Lou takes you back to your AHL days because the Anaheim Ducks will be here tomorrow. Nothing you said much time.
It's a pretty hectic schedule, no question about it. A lot of teams for the National Hockey finishing off in the shooting lane direction, so a tough stretch against some tough teams for Edmonton. But everybody's going through that right now. But here's that block from Hartikainen earlier you were talking about. And obviously it's important to get into shooting lanes and be a presence, not allow shots to get through too quickly. And for Hartikainen, good step to the right there to make sure he was in the way. And he gets down a little bit of a stance there, too. The juggernaut makes himself pretty big. It's pretty difficult getting it through there. And a nice shot block that doesn't allow that puck to get through it.
And he likes playing the Anaheim Ducks. 2 career games, he's got 2 goals. Jeff Petrie starts the rush, and Taylor Hall is flying out there tonight. Well, you recognized early when guys got it going on. It looks like he has got those skating legs working.
I saw him in the warm-up. He came on and he was just buzzing around. And, you know, for Taylor Hall, that's obviously the strength of his game, is his speed and his strength with his skating. And when he's moving his feet like that and looking for the passes, you can just see he wants that puck on his stick. And games that he has that mentality, which has been very often this year, he's obviously a force to be reckoned with. And defense have to kind of have that gap as well. And if you look at Taylor Hall coming down the ice in that goal, he's looking past the whole way at the last second, just fires it. And a controlled shot. 5-hole, knew exactly where he wanted to go and puts it home.
And he's becoming a bit of a medical guy when it comes to shoulders. He was explaining the whole labor thing to us this morning.
He was talking a different language as far as I was concerned. But obviously when it's your own body, and it was a big surgery for Taylor Hall, and it will be for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. For a young guy, always a little bit of a traumatic situation, but an important one. And he said the doctor was great in explaining everything that was going to happen to him as well as the recovery. And he knew all the terminology. And he's back. He says he still feels a little bit, but no worse for wear. He looks like he's
still no score in Game 3. Oilers lead the series to 2 games to 1.
have to wait and see. Ryan Smith losing the Hunter around the boards. Mike Brown with a nice boards. As he gets back out. Smith. Smith headed to the net.
Ryan Smith.
And Brad Stubbins.
2 points at 4 point. 6 points in the playoffs.
A little flex there as he got by Allen.
Yeah, Allen was coming down for a big hit for Brown. He just kind of looked like he was going to brace himself for the hit the last second, a little move. And walks around Allen and a nice pass wide to Ryan Smith.
Smith then plays it back to the point. Sholts through traffic. And that traffic provided by Ryan Smith. Chips it in. He'll chase after it himself. Nick Sholts will get there first. Those two come together and rattle the glass. The puck sits at the side of the net. It is still loose. Talor now will flip it high to try and get it out. And he does get it out there to Jones. And they work that puck out across the line. And then Jones gets crushed by Daniel Winnick. And that's going to cost him some time in the penalty box. Well, the Oilers will come back
score
power play
here in Game 3 of the playoffs.
Anaheim's given up an early goal and now find themselves shorthanded thanks to Daniel Winnick, which is good news for Justin Sholts as he will be on the Edmonton Oilers power play and hoping to continue the offensive flair that he showed on Friday against the Colorado Avalanche as Sholts picked up 2 points, both of them coming in the opening period of play, and both he and particularly Nail Yakupov as rookies in the NHL continue to pile up the points and continue to potentially sway voters when it comes to determining who will be the rookie of this shortened year in the National Hockey League.
Here's Justin Jones. He scores! On the power play, Justin Schultz just early and makes it 1-0 here in Game 3. Schultz gets free.
Both of them coming in the opening period of play, and both he and particularly Nail Yakupov.
What does it hold that was waved off? Well, it is it offside.
The NHL continue to pile up the going.
And be a present from Hardikan earlier.
And no one's scoring.
And that just shows important to get in the shooting lanes. Here's that playoff against some tough teams for Edmonton. But everybody's going through that right now. But here's that block from Hardikan earlier. Tough teams for Edmonton. But everybody's going through that right now. But here's that block from Hardikan earlier you're talking about. And obviously, it's important to get in the shooting lanes. Going through that right now. But here's that block from Hardikan earlier you're talking about. And obviously, it's important to get in the shooting lanes and be a presence, not allow shots to get through too quickly. And for Hardikan, a good step to the right there to make sure he was in the way. And he gets down a little bit of a stance there, too. And be a presence, not allow. Shots to get through still, no score quickly. And for Hardikan, a little bit of a stance there, too. The juggernaut makes him in the power play. He's down a little bit of a stance there, too. The juggernaut makes himself pretty big. It's pretty difficult getting it through there. And a nice shot block. Bit of a stance there, too. The juggernaut makes himself pretty big. It's pretty difficult getting it through there. And a nice shot block. It doesn't dance there, too. The juggernaut makes himself pretty big. It's pretty difficult getting it through there. And a nice shot block. It doesn't allow that puck to get through.
And he likes playing the Anaheim Ducks. The Anaheim Ducks in career games. He's got 2 goals. Jeff Petrie starts foul rush and
Goal by Justin
flying out there tonight. Well, you've recognized early when guys got it going on. It looks like he has got those skating legs working.
I saw him in the warm-up. He came out and he was just buzzing around. And, you know, for Talor Hall, that's obviously the strength of his game is his speed and his strength with his skating. And when he's moving his feet like that and looking for the passes, you can just see he wants that puck on his stick. And games that he has that mentality, which is
picked up 2 points. Both
with the 4th best power play in the league, and it goes to work for the first time. And Timo Hardikan out there on the ice. Along with Magnus Piarvi, Sam Gagner, Jordan Eberle.
And no boost for Justin Sholtz tonight. It's a little bit of a tough game for him in Anaheim. There's no question about that, but he's got his home crowd behind him tonight.
Nick Sholtz not going to get booed either.
Yeah.
Gagner. Justin Sholtz with it now. He'll go cross ice. Magnus Piarvi. Back to Sholtz. There's a one-time blast, and that one goes wide. Usually the wrist shot, but he fired the slap shot there.
And I like the fact that he tees it up like that. He's got a really good slap shot. You don't see it that often from Justin Sholtz, but he can really pound it. And that one just a little bit wide there, but that wrist shot is obviously what he likes to use. But he does have that in the arsenal as well.
Oilers were 0 for 4 in the game against Colorado on Friday. And Louis, it kind of goes hand in hand with his team when they struggle. The power play is not working. Just one power play goal in their last 5 games. But here comes Talor Hall to try and change that. He gets double teamed and then gets knocked down by both Ben Lovejoy and Brian Allen.
A lot of speed coming down the left-hand side by Talor Hall. And a good job by Lovejoy there to stay with him, not allow him to get entirely through him and make that puck kind of bobble off the stick of Hall. He gets a little help it down the ice.
Yakupov from the corner. Nail Yakupov. 5 power play goals on the season for the rookie. He'll go quick cross ice. Hard pass picked up there by Hall. Hall has got Horkoff battling in front with Ben Lovejoy. Lets a shot go. That one's blocked, kept in nicely there by Potter. Here's a one-timer from Petrie. And Hiller looked around, and that puck hit him just as the penalty is over. And Daniel Winnick is back on the ice. The Oilers 0 for 1 with a man advantage. 11 minutes left to go here in the first period. The Oilers getting a shot on that power play. Allen flips it in, and that puck ends up going out of play. And that puck ends up going out of play.
This is a replica of the remote that inspired the big win. The original was tragically lost in a carriage.
Get your game on with Tools.
Well, time to play Safeway's $1 million scored win if any Oilers player scores 5 goals in tonight's game. Paul Gaudette of Edmonton could win $1 million. Shop at Safeway. You could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet. Safeway, you could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet.
Gets left to Ryan. Ryan centering pass for Corey Perry. Got by him. Comes back to Fowler with a wrist shot, and that one blocked by Mike Brown.
Great block right there, and a good job by Brown to get into that shooting lane and move his feet, make sure that he was there at the right time when that shot gets through. Always dangerous when you have bodies going to the net with this big line of Perry, Getzlaf, and Ryan. They all love to hang around that blue paint. And Brown denies that.
Fowler drops it back for Getzlaf. Boschman calling for it. Instead, he goes down low for Ryan, who takes a shot from a sharp angle. Schmid had tied up Perry in the middle.
Not an easy task. Good job by Schmid, though, in front, though, to battle Corey Perry for positioning, not allow him to really get set up there. And you saw that sharp angle shot by Perry earlier on. When you have 3 big bodies, all right-handed shots off the cycle, heading to
the shut down pair. Here comes Talor Hall.
Here comes Talor Hall.
Talor Hall, 2-on-1. He scores! Left in the first period. 1-0.
Well, it's all about transition, Kevin, and a good job by Edmonton after defending. The big line of Anaheim in the defensive zone. Jeff Petrie is head up, and this nice little pass redirected by Everly right to Talor Hall with speed. And there's no way he was giving this one up here. He walked it all alone. He looks over. Gagne's taken away, and he just drills it right through the pads of Hiller for a 1-0 lead. So a good goal by Talor Hall.
Petrie and down there. Here comes Talor Hall. Flying in with Horkoff. 2-on-1.
Jumps in. And it's another goal. Jeff Petrie. 2 goals in 9 seconds. It's 2-0. Well, it's all about transition, Kevin, and a good job by Edmonton after defending. The big line of Anaheim in the defensive zone. Jeff Petrie is head up, and this nice little pass redirected by Everly right to Talor Hall. He looks over, got speed away, and he just drills it right through the pads of Hiller for a 1-0 lead. So a good transitional play by Petrie up to Everly. Angle shot, and Brown denies that.
Drops it back for Getzlaf. Boschman calling for it. Instead, he goes down low for Ryan. Takes a shot from a sharp angle.
Not an easy task. Speed going front. Corey Perry for positioning, not allow him to really get set up there. And you saw that sharp angle shot by Perry earlier on. when you have three big bodies, all right-handed shots off the cycle heading to the net, you just want to kind of get into that danger zone. If their speed blocks them out, and the Oilers are able to get that puck out of the zone.
1-0 to score for the Oilers. It's Talor Oilers hockey right here.
Well, let's go back to January 2nd of last year when Ryan Nugent-Hopkins hit the boards hard in Chicago, and as a result, that was the first time he was hurt. A total of 20 games missed because of a shoulder injury. This year, the first time we noticed something might be wrong was when he went to the ice with Henrik Sedin, and you see him holding on to his shoulder. That was a game February 4th. He missed a bit of time after that, and now Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been handed over to Anthony Minianci, the orthopedic surgeon, who will perform the surgery as early as Tuesday at the Cleveland Clinic, the Sports Health Center. He's from Toronto, so he should be in a good mood now that the Leafs are in the playoffs. So it should be easy and relaxed when he does the surgery.
Relax, absolutely, Dean.
Absolutely, Dean. And just
Ryan Smith
started back in June. Assists here in the game. Just game 3 hits in that. 2-0 Edmonton. Nick Schultz moving in for the lead series.
Nick Schultz got the goal against the Anaheim Ducks, and you know that Justin Schultz would be the guy that would love to get a goal against the team and a crowd that booed him heavily. Gagne cutting in. Gagne, nice move, and there is Talor at the last second to steal that puck aside. Corey Potter has Palmieri on him, but he'll get there first and get the icing call.
Well, real nice move here by Sam Gagne. And a little bit of speed through the neutral zone sets it up once again. And for Gagne, just attacks with speed, head up, looking like he's going to pass, brings it in quickly, and gets that through. And a great job by Fowler at the last second, as you mentioned, Kevin. To kind of help out his defense partner a little bit, comes over that stick right there at the last second, just enough to hinder Gagne from going all the way through. But a nice individual effort there on the rush.
Hartikainen muscles it out in front. He's got Jones there waiting for it, but Fowler broke it up again. Palmieri chips it up, and it's brought back in offside.
Corey Potter's like, hey, I paid the price to keep that in.
That's right. And it's gloved ahead. We get a whistle.
You know, one of the things that Ralph Kruger wants to do a lot of is try and stand up on the offensive blue line, keep pucks alive. And for Potter, he does just that. He has 3 Ducks coming down on him, so that's a little called it a glove-ahead pass.
And Jones, the big hit for Potter. Scramble in front. And it's kept in by Corey Potter. And this line causing havoc. Hartikainen, Jones, and Horcoff. Horcoff battling with the much bigger Brian Allen, wins that puck battle, gets it back to Bistrick. Bistrick throws it behind the net. Horcoff waiting for it. Hartikainen as well. Bonino back in the lineup after missing 21 with a lower body injury. Abby Bachman shoots it in. Bachman got his first NHL goal April 17th against Columbus, and he did it on the power play. He is here on an emergency recall, so with Lucas Spiza, we thought maybe he was going to play, and Bachman would not be able to play. Gets loud, goes across ice for Perry. Caught up there by Ladislav Smee. Ryan overskates it, and it's picked up now by Brown. Almost gave it away in front to Getzlaff. Sit down the ice, and Francois Beauchemin touch it, and that's going to be icing.
Well, real nice energy shift again. This is the line that started.
Sit down the ice, and Francois Beauchemin touch it, and that's going to be icing.
Well, real nice energy shift again. This is the line that started the game for Ralph Kruger, and 3 big bodies that like to bang and crack. Jones starts it off with a big hit on Allen on the forecheck, gets in aggressively, good cycle down low, and a lot of traffic in that blue paint. And those opportunities are something that the Oilers haven't done enough of this year, and something they're trying to work on. A good chance for Corey Potter on the first rebound, a blast. I have no idea how Hiller got a pen on that. It was a terrific save.
43 hits so far for Brian Jones. Playing in just his 23rd game of the season, and breaks off play. Peter picks that up. We got another icing call. You know, I like the way Ralph Kruger talked about, you know, that these are measuring stick games. And, look, you could almost consider this like a playoff series with 2 games in 2 nights against the same opponent in the same rink.
Yeah, not too often you see that. They'll play Anaheim again tomorrow night here at Rexall, and it's a little bit of a playoff atmosphere. I'm sure that's probably how he tried to sell it down in the dressing room. Let's make this a little bit like a playoff series here. We're going to play the same team 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row. And the Oilers have come out in this game so far with a lot of energy, and it's been the team that's been better into the first almost 13 minutes of this period. Ryan Smith, a little bit of discomfort on the bench. Or was he just trying to hear Ralph Kruger over the nose? I'm not sure. He's gripping a little bit there. But Ralph Kruger, obviously, everything's a measuring stick. Everything's something to get better for the next game, for the next season. And that's how he's preaching it to the boys right now is finish strong and carry those good habits forward.
And Petrell out for the high ankle sprain. Of course, Alexevsky missing with an injured foot. And now Alexevsky forgot to normally get in the lineup. Lovejoy shot goes straight up in the air. Andrew Pagliano, the guy that doesn't get hurt very much. This is his 455th straight game for number 7. Taylor Hall picks it up. Taylor Hall delivers to Everly off the end of his stick. Cam Fowler is there. Fowler and Lovejoy trying to shut down his top line for the Edmonton Oilers. Good job by Fisker taking the hit from Pagliano, but getting it into Everly. Now it's an opportunity for Gagne, denied by Jonas Hiller.
Another real good aggressive forecheck, Kevin, by Edmonton. A real nice job by Fisker to stand up there, get aggressive on the blue line, keep a puck alive. And Gagne with a dandy chance in a high slot after a nice pass to get a shot through.
Yakupov trying to go end to end. The puck eventually gets to Jonas Hiller and he covers up.
Something we're seeing a little bit more of here for Edmonton is that aggressive blue line presence. And when you have forwards that are willing to come back, defense can step up like this. Fisker does, keeps a puck alive. Down to Everly, out to Gagne, and a real nice shot away. And a great job by Hiller to get that blocker up and make that save. I think that Sam Gagne had 8 points against the Chicago Blackhawks. So that came up a couple times with those young guys. They remember those types of performance. You know they want to play well together and hopefully put some points on the board.
First time they've been together since March the 6th. If we take a look at Mark Fisker, and he's a guy that, well, he got an assist against Colorado. His first point since February the 6th.
Yeah, played just over 17 minutes in that game. So obviously down the stretch getting as you mentioned, a chance to go out there and perform, and potentially another guy they'll bring back for next year. He's an unrestricted free agent, so has the option to test the open market.
Anton Lander. Lead it back to Fisker. It got by him, but it went to Corey Potter from 1D. Good play into this corner. Fisker takes another hit to try and get that puck out. And he came together with Brad Stavitz. Then puts it on the board. Schmid in a race for Getzlaf. Dubnik actually thought about coming out if Getzlaf had beaten Ladislav Schmid. Here's Bobby Ryan trying to center it. Horkoff prevented that. Getzlaf with it behind the net. Perry parks himself in front. The captain throws it towards the net. Petrie's got it. Lost it. Bobby Ryan centering to Ryan Getzlaf, but away comes Hartikainen to Horkoff. Timo Hartikainen lost the handle against Tony Luton. Perry. He ran into Jeff Petrie, but Petrie takes his time, and he has time right now. He'll go right up the middle to Horkoff. Sean Horkoff, drop pass for Timo Hartikainen. Jones going to the front of the net. That was broken up, and back the other way we go. Corey Perry into the chip. He'll wait. Corey Perry can get the shot away. And now he'll head to the bench. 4 minutes, 39 seconds to go in this first period. 8-4 shots in favor of the Oilers. The only goal in game 3. A minute into the contest. Nick Bonino to Cam Fowler. Gets it right back again. Out there with Palmieri and Solani. Goes off the glass. Palmieri given a bump. Solani going after it against Smithson. Left the puck behind. Smithson takes it. Plays it around the boards for Ryan Smith. He is checked by Ben Lovejoy. The puck comes to Solani. Timo Solani back up top for Cam Fowler. Quickly over to Ben Lovejoy. Throws it towards the net through traffic. And that one just missed. Hard pass for Ryan Smith off his skate. Picked up by Ben Lovejoy. That puck does eventually come down. Ben Lovejoy, there was some talk about him maybe getting a conversation from the NHL for that hit on Curtis Glencross in the game on Friday.
Yeah, knee hit, and, it was one of those ones where he stepped up and obviously clipped Glencross in the knee, and I actually thought he was probably going to get a talking to at least.
Winning just not. Goes right through. Tony Lukeman trying to keep it in against Sam Gagne. He plays it behind the net. Saku Koivu is there. Koivu. Being watched by Corey Potter. The Pagliano off the end of his stick. Couldn't get a shot away. Hall quickly on the regroup to Gagne from Everton. Gagne given a bump. The puck squirts free. Now Koivu. Leave it there for Boschman. Makes a little behind-the-back pass to Winnick. They'll try to flip it for Cogliano. Is broken up by Justin Sholts, and he, in turn, will flip it in and head off.
That would have been a nice little transition, but Talor Hall got upended and was behind the play. Didn't get back out in time, or else it would have been a definite outnumbered rush on that good defensive play by Sholts.
Corey Perry moves in. His centering pass went off Horton. It comes right to Jones. He'll leave it there for Anaheim. Shoots it in. Jones will give chase, but the puck comes right to Hiller. He's not going to take a chance. Tell us Oilers hockey.
Oilers hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs. 2-0.
It's time now to play the Tell Us game of Fan Right, Fan Wrong. The future is friendly. Tonight's question: who led the Oilers in points for the 2011-12 season? Was it Jordan Eberle, Talor Hall, Sam Gagner, or Ryan Smith? Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to the next home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit tellus.com/hockey. For every completed entry, prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to the next home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit Tellus tickets to the next home game. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit tellus.com/hockey. For every completed entry, Tellus will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
Well, we know who's leading in every category right now. 15 goals for Talor Hall, 30 assists. Who's leading in every category
the
right
2012
now? 15
playoffs.
goals for Talor Hall,
21
30 assists,
for Ryan
45
Smith.
points. And he got his
15
goal a minute in.
A minute in.
And that is the only goal so far. We've got 2:46 to go in this first period. Oilers doubling up the shots on the Ducks. 8-4 right now. Tipped high and into the seats.
For today,
For the Oilers, they are 3-3 in the first half of back-to-backs. They will back-to-back games for the Oilers. They are 3-3 in the first half of back-to-backs.
In the playoffs.
They will finish their back-to-back series at the end of the year. Friday in Minnesota, and then Saturday here against Vancouver.
Here in the
we'll have that
playoffs.
game for you. And Saturday here against Vancouver. And we'll have that game for you
on Thursday
from Minnesota.
It will be a game 5
And
if
we'll have that
necessary
game
on
for
Saturday.
you.
Game 6 on Monday and game 7 if necessary on Wednesday.
The Oilers in the standings. In the Western Conference, so the payback to the Oilers to Minnesota. Getzlaf waits for Perry to get on side, then tries to get it back to him. Good play by Petrie to break it up into Hardekainen. He was checked by Lovejoy. Hiller will leave it in behind the net for Cam Fowler. He got an assist in that game against Calgary. He missed the previous racing after the game. Shot in by Hardekainen. Lovejoy racing after it against Jones. Jones hustles to get that puck alive and get it to the captain. He was checked by Solani. Palmieri looking for Bonino, and that was broken up there by Nick Schultz. Ryan Jones. Kyle Palmieri battled for the puck.
Jones got a high stick there from Palmieri up a little bit high over the helmet.
Ran into Bonino, took his frustrations out.
Payback.
Ryan Allen with a shot. Evan Dubnyk the save. Ryan Jones had a great chance for an empty net goal, but just couldn't quite catch up to it. Bouncing puck right on to Hiller, and he'll hang on.
Well, I like the skating right now by Edmonton in this first period. They've come out and been the quicker team and the more aggressive and maybe more urgent team. You know, getting the pucks first, winning loose puck battles, and just getting pucks in deep and establishing that forecheck. Here's a little knuckle puck that gets thrown towards Hiller by PRV, but he knows that if this thing bobbles, he gets there on time. And
19 minutes to go. Koivu stops, backhand, right through the crease. Comes back to Boschman.
that was a good job by Lander to stay with Cogliano.
Koivu centered that one again, but it was steered away by Corey Potter. Corey Potter, an opportunity to get it out right now. Cogliano bearing down on him. It's chipped out. Right to Magnus Piarvi. He was checked by Tony Ludman. Daniel Winnick with it now. 30 seconds left to go in the period. Francois Beauchemin tried to chip it in deep. Didn't do a great job, but the Ducks will get a change as Mark Bistrick takes a look. He'll deliver the puck to Mike Brown. Mike Brown shoots it in. Fowler has got to have his head on a swivel. Brown came in. Smithson gets it to Brown again. He is checked by Ryan Getzlaf right behind the net. The puck's still alive. Ryan Smithson there as well.
2-0 is for
And that is the score. And a penalty coming to Mike Brown.
and that would be
Shoulder situations where And
a power play back goal, and
they're going to be down off the base.
playing a good game so far. And Talor, 58. Talor gets... So we're tied at 1. Darren Millard is 50's first career goal against the Edmonton Oilers. And it comes late. 2-0 Oilers. Talor gets the goal. So we're tied at 1. Darren Millard. The goal for Hall and Horton against game 3.
Well, Talor Hall celebrating the fact that he has the only goal so far on the part of the Edmonton Oilers as they are even with the Anaheim Ducks and preparing themselves for second period action. And oftentimes we talk to players and don't get to use a lot of the stuff that we're told, but wasn't it an interesting conversation with Talor Hall this morning talking about shoulders, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins? What did you kind of get out of the conversation with Talor?
Well, if you're an Oilers fan, and you could have been in on that conversation with several of the journalists, where it was almost like a biology lesson with Dr. Talor Hall. He took us all through the labrum and the shoulder. You know, the kid's been under the knife. A very similar surgery to the one that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is due to have. And if you're an Oilers fan, the video you're about to see and the words that Talor Hall spoke this morning give you a pretty good feeling about what's going to happen with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Talor Hall had his labrum worked on, and it has allowed him to come back. He said it was a 6-month recovery period. He says he could have started the season. I'm not so sure he would have been there for game 1, Gene. But this is a guy that's, as he says, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is going to have to work on his shoulder 3-4 days a week. It is a long process in front of him. But watch Talor Hall. He's playing the kind of hockey he needs to play. He needs to engage physically. After the surgery, he can. I think RNA should come out of this thing just fine.
How about Talor Hall with the goal on Jonas Hiller? The Anaheim Ducks are going to the playoffs. That we know. We're not quite sure which goal is going to lead him in the postseason. Who do you think?
Well, there might not be an organization that has more goaltending than the Anaheim Ducks. The problem is they're not sure which one's going to play in the playoffs. So I went on the hunt this morning. They have, of course, Victor Fast, who will likely play tomorrow night. They've got a kid in the minors, young kid prospect, John Gibson, MVP of the World Junior. He's not here. I asked the print guys who they think will play when the playoffs start. They said Victor Fast. I asked the broadcast guys. They said Jonas Hiller. I asked Bruce Boudreau. He said, I know, and I'm not telling you.
Well, they need goaltending if they're going to end up with some kind of a Duck dynasty, guys.
Absolutely. And you know what, Louis? I think you go with the broadcast guys. Don't they know more than the sprint guys?
Those guys know what it's at.
Second period underway in a 1-1 game. Underway in a 3. Talor Hall, Cam Fowler. Excuse me. And as Darren Millard pointed out, the Windsor Spitfire connection. The Oilers. Daniel Wynn from the corner. Being watched by Edmonton. Takes him down. The puck comes to Koivu, and he threw it right through the blue paint. Fowler spins at the blue line. Over across ice. There's Lovejoy shot off the inboards, and it comes right to Devin Dubnyk, and he'll hang on. Let's take a look at the first period scoring summary brought to you by Worley Parsons. To Devin Dubnyk, and he'll hang on to it. Let's take a look at the first period scoring summary brought to you by Worley Parsons. For now hiring trades in oil country. Visit WorleyParsons.com/careers and apply today.
Talor Hall starts things off in a big hurry and minutes into the game with his 15th, and Cam Fowler ties the game very late in the game with only 2 seconds left on the clock in the first period to make it a 1-1 game. The Oilers outshot Anaheim 15th, and then Cam Fowler ties the game very late in the game with only 2 seconds left on the clock in the first period to make it a 1-1 game. The Oilers outshot Anaheim 9-6 in that first 20, and a little bit better start there for Anaheim right at the gates. Get a puck in deep, cycle it down low, and put some pressure on Edmonton. A minute into the game.
Right to Devin Dubnyk, and he'll hang on. There's Lovejoy shot off the inboards, and it comes right to Devin Dubnyk, and he'll hang on.
Scores! Justin Sholts, the California boy. It's 3-0 Oilers. 13 seconds in.
Look at the first period score. Careers and apply today.
Talor Hall starts things off in a big hurry a minute into the game with his 15th, and Cam Fowler ties the game very late in the game with only 2 seconds left on the clock in the first period to make it a 1-1. A little bit better start there for Anaheim right at the gates. Get a puck in deep, cycle it down low, and put some pressure on Edmonton.
There's another shot that doesn't make it through.
Crowd. It's cheering in here in Rexall Place.
The rest is Parker. Daniel Winnick from the corner. Nothing Oilers. It comes right back to scoring goals again at 13. They're going to put very late again. That doesn't make it through. Talor keeps it in at the blue line. It is Ryan Perry and Getzlaf up front now for Boudreau. Corey Perry. He'll drop it to the captain Getzlaf. They watch by Gagne. Spins to try and get away from 89. Now he'll throw it across the ice to Perry. There's a shot from that left wall. And comes all the way down the ice. Power play goal for Cam Talor. The second power play goal in the last 6 games for the Ducks. They have the 12th red power play in the league on the road. Hard to believe it's Talor's first of the year. Has a great shot in the blue line, but has struggled to put the puck in the back of the net. Gets left into the shift. Kodrak couldn't get the shot away. Good defensive play by Ladislav Schmid. Everything. He gets surrounded by a triangle of white shirts. Corey Perry works it slowly to center. Takes a look. He sees Palmieri joining him. Now he'll dish out to Bonino. Fires his shot. A blocker save by Devin Dubnyk. Bonino got the assist on that goal by Fowler. Missed 21 games. Just back in the lineup. Yakupov now. Great centering pass. With a great opportunity for Magnus PRV. His stick shattering before he can put that one home.
Throwing that one home. Pretty sure it's atmosphere here in Rexall Place.
I can't believe it wasn't called because a broken stick was scoring on
was scored after we hear the chant.
Magnus PRV trying to join the double-digit club on this Edmonton Oilers team. It's in a select company that includes Taylor Hall, Sam Gagne, Nail Yakupov, and Jordan Eberle. Anton Lander backhands it in. Hiller will leave it there for Vatanen. Vatanen was stopped by Magnus PRV. Gets a second opportunity, though, and gets it to the finish flash. He'll look for Emerson Eno. He's turned aside. Solani with it now. He'll chip it slowly in. Timo Solani, 42 years old, in his 21st National Hockey League season. Ryan Smith takes a bump there from David Steckel. Edom in there again with Nick Sholts battling for a puck that stays alive. Now ends up behind the net. Edom's got it. Edom turns. Steckel's in front. Edom's with a puck. He'll play it back to the point instead. Vatanen gives it to Allen. Allen able to keep that puck in. Now Justin Sholts will play it off the boards, and Brown gets it up nicely to Smithson. Jared Smithson cuts in the middle. Here's Smithson with a shot. Hiller made the save. The rebound was there. Jared Smithson looking for his first goal, first point, and an Edmonton uniform. This is his 6th game as an Oiler. Jeff Petrie sends it around the boards. Ladislav Schmid will wait for it there, chip it further out. 10-7, the shots on goal favor the Oilers in a 1-1 game. It was a 2-1 game. These teams collided April 8th at the Duck Club. Koivu in the corner, being watched by Jones. Puts it behind the net for Daniel Winnick. Against
one goal and 3 points here in the playoffs here.
Can't do it. Now he'll try the other side. Still has it. Lets a shot go. Devin Dubnyk the save. Winnick looking for the rebound. He'll try and center it. Cogliano with it now. Cogliano, Koivu, and Winnick putting on the pressure for the Ducks. Jones against Winnick. Daniel Winnick. A penalty coming up. Cogliano side of the net. It goes to Koivu. 6 attackers out there. The 6th attacker is Brian Getzlaf. The Ducks will get their second opportunity as Getzlaf put it to an open wing. Nobody there. And now he'll have to retreat. The Ducks will get a change in. They want to get their snipers out there. And Perry joins. Getzlaf. Winnick. The drop pass for Ryan. Ryan throws it towards the net. Steered to the corner. Jones is going to touch it. And that will bring about the whistle. And it's going to be a holding call against Ryan Jones.
And a much better Anaheim Ducks team in this second period, coming out 4 shifts in a row. Puck gets in deep, cycling down low. Here's the chance by Getzlaf. As he misses, the puck comes up and whacks Schmid in the chest with the stick. There's the PRV chance, and it was a broken stick, actually.
Yeah, there you
Before
go.
he got the chance, it wasn't a slash. That's why there was no call. And then Smithson with a good individual effort to go to the middle, get the shot through, and Hiller has a little trouble with that with bodies converging in. And here's the call to Ryan Jones right here as he's battling with Daniel Winnick down low. Terrible call, in my opinion.
That's a power play.
That's where it was called on Jones. I don't think he really ever held it.
Second power play, they scored late in that first period. Vatanen Vatanen. He has an NHL goal, and it came on the power play. Perry centering pass, and it just got by Talor and stuck down low like he did in the first period. He'll center it. Ryan Smith is there. It gets by him. Gets lap, throws it towards the net. That goes wide. Corey Potter and Nick Sholts, the penalty killers, along with Smithson and Smith. And Ryan Smith will play it around the boards. Corey Potter has a lane, and Corey Potter can't get it by Sami Vatanen. Now an opportunity for Smithson, and he will finish the deal. You can see what the Anaheim Ducks are trying to do to tighten it up before the playoffs start. 0 for 2 in Calgary. 1 for 6 against Edmonton in the season series. Here's Horcock looking for the 5th shorthanded goal of the season for the Oilers. Beauchemin across the blue line. Beauchemin tips that puck in. Schmid in the corner. He gets dumped. And play continues. Schmid pops right back up. Fowler cross ice. Getzlaf waits. Getzlaf waited too long. Anton Lander there to send it down the ice.
A little too cute. You know, you look at this lineup the Anaheim Ducks have and the scores and top players that they possess, and you wonder why they can't get things going on the power play. As you mentioned, coming into this game tonight, only 5 power play goals. In their last 20 games, they were 1 for 1 before getting their second opportunity here on a quick 3-second or 2-second power play goal for Cam Fowler's first of the year. So something they're going to have to definitely dial in, Kevin, no question about it. A weapon that they can use going forth in this regular season and carrying it into the playoffs.
18 seconds left to go with the penalty to Jones. Nick Sholts will play it off the boards. Can't get it out, though. Koivu, Solani, and Ryan. Out front here is Tony Ludman. Ludman off the end board, trying to get that in front to Ryan. It didn't work. Corey Potter and Nick Sholts. Schultz sends it around the board. Jared Smithson. A long pass, too far for Ryan Smith. Wanted to get a change in. Jordan Eberle hops over the board, so he'll do a little penalty killing as that penalty is now over. Cogliano with the puck. Cogliano. He gets stopped up by Schmid. Now he'll get it to Steckel. Steckel works his way in and got knocked down for his trouble. Then Hall hit by Ludman.
A big collision there between Ludman and Hall. Boy, Hall didn't see him come at the last second. Maybe just gets a little glimpse of Ludman coming down. He likes to step up, so does Beauchemin. Be very careful coming to the neutral zone.
Ludman getting it to Cogliano. Cogliano behind the net for Daniel Winnick. Winnick gets knocked down. Schmid with a puck. He will flip it high. Wants to relieve some pressure, and it's caught by the big guy, Ryan Allen. Ryan Allen is 6'5". Jordan Eberle with the puck down. Eberle, pass intended for Gagne, was cut off by Ludman. Cogliano stopped by Hall. On the near side, Allen will go after it, and he will try and send it slowly down the ice. Cannot do it, though. And that's going to be an icing call against the Ducks. Against slowly down the ice. Cannot do it, though. And that's going to be an icing call against the Ducks.
Pro Hockey Life, the ultimate hockey megastore.
Well, here's that hit by Ludman as he comes up and Hall with his head down. Last second you see him just look up and see Ludman coming. And for Ludman, he tried to put the shoulder down, and that would have been a big collision if he caught a little bit more of number 4 of Edmonton.
Nick Schultz fires that puck and went off. Magnus Bjarmi, and that stung number 91.
That would have been look up and see.
Oh, nice. Cannot do it, though. And that's going to be an icing. We'll try and send it slowly down the ice. Cannot do it, though. After it. And here's Ryan to send it slowly down the ice. Cannot do it, though. Ryan Jones. And that's going to be an icing call.
Ryan Jones! First goal in the playoffs! And first shorthanded! It's 4-0!
Look up and get by Ludman as he comes.
Hockey megastore.
Well, here's that hit by Ludman as he comes up and Hall with his head down. Last second you see him just look up and see Ludman coming. And for Ludman, he tried to put the shoulder down, and that would have been a big collision if he would have got a little bit more of number 4. Last second you see him look up and see Ludman coming. And for Ludman, he tried to put the shoulder down. Look up and see Ludman. Would have got a little bit more of number 4. That was
Short-handed. Schultz fires that puck and went off. Magnus Bjarmi
Sean Horkoff sitting in the penalty box, penalty minutes number 19 and 20. He stands up and didn't like the fact that he found himself getting penalized for that interference in the blue paint in front of his goaltender, Devin Dubnyk. The Anaheim Ducks had all of yesterday off and decided to spend part of the day as a team at the Metro Pool Hall, a pool tournament. Teams of two, you had to win 3-game series to make it all the way to the final. Ryan Getzlaf was one of the winners, and the Ducks, considering they're winless in 4 coming into tonight, feel like they're behind the 8 ball and hoping this evening they get a break.
Now they get a break there as they get their third power play.
As the Oilers they're ready for the Stanley Cup final for the second year in a row.
And that puck is gloved ahead, so we get a whistle.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Ryan Getzlaf in this game already, and so key to have him back in action after missing 3 games with a lower body injury, and the numbers that he's had this year along with Corey Perry. Both these guys signed that 8-year extension. So the 2 top players of the team signed for long term and kind of settled down the future of this organization. But for Getzlaf, as you mentioned, he's kind of stirred the straw that stirs the drink, as you said. I never use that word, so that's why I have a little bit of it. But when he's going, it seems like the Ducks go.
5-time 20-goal scorer comes across the line, gives it to Nick Bonino. Now the Oilers chase it down to the corner. Getzlaf takes a hit from Schmies. He delivers the puck to Talor. Getzlaf with it again. Getzlaf looking for Corey Perry. Back to the point. Getzlaf waiting for it there. Pass to the middle from Bonino. He turns and fires it. It goes off Schmies and up into the netting.
Schmies, a real good defensive shift here. 3 times he hits Getzlaf, breaks up a pass, and there gets in front of a shot. And something that he's done all year long. Leads the team in hits and block shots. So a good shift for him in the penalty kill to be that presence down there, not allow anything to get through. And a good little step forward, gets his stick in the lane. And up over top of the glass.
Came into this game 8th in the league in block shots.
Second goal, yeah.
Cam Talor will lead the rush for Anaheim. Quick pass up for Perry. Perry. Nick Sholts watching him. Talor down deep. Back to the point. Levinson waiting for it. Getzlaf taking Talor's spot on the blue line. Talor gives it to Getzlaf. Back to Votman. Votman with a wrist shot through traffic. A bouncing puck in front. Perry digging for it. Dubnyk covers it up, and Nick Sholts took exception to Corey Perry, and they're jamming away. And Dubnyk covers it up, and Nick Sholts took exception to Corey Perry, and they're jamming away. And Devin Dubnyk,
no question about it, he's going to do that. That's exactly what Corey Perry does. Gets in there, jams away. Good shot from the blue line. Votman, a highly offensive defenseman in his first year North American pro, just zips it through. Good save by Dubnyk right there, and it wasn't a hard shot by Bonino that gets through. The second one is a bouncing puck that bobbles through. And for Dubnyk, he has to come up with a quick save. And that little last whack there by Perry, that's what Sholts put in touch.
Koivu to Ryan. Ryan back to Lovejoy with a shot. And there's Devin Dubnyk to save. Koivu looking for the rebound. And Devin Dubnyk slid across before Koivu could not get that shot.
That one stuck. Dubnyk was kind of bent over a little bit afterwards. A couple great saves. The first one, a terrific one on Lovejoy. And then it was Koivu with a real in-tight, quick second opportunity. The big man came out and denied him there.
20 seconds left to go in the man advantage as it comes to Bobby Ryan. Ryan. Solani trying to get it back up to Ryan, and a good defensive play there by a couple of Oilers, Schmid and Gagne to break it up. Taylor Hall on the ice now as that penalty is coming to an end. Sean Horkoff is back on the ice. 9:41 left to go in the second period. Taylor Hall, the goal scorer for the Oilers, as David Steckel goes after it against Schmid. Drop pass for Cogliano. Cogliano spins, plays it in front, looking for Solani. Broken up, and Hall leads the rush back the other way. Taylor Hall down the right side, moving in against Talor. Stops up, throws it towards the net. That goes wide and all the way down into Oiler territory. That'll chase Mark Fitzgerald back into his own zone. Anaheim 1 for 3. 5 of their 15 shots have come on the power play. Winning. Oilers. There's Lubman tying up Hall. The puck's still alive. Gagne's got it. He'll play it back to the point. Fistrick through traffic. And that was blocked by Tony Lubman. Winning. That's intercepted by Fistrick. Quickly to Hall. Hall spins to get away from Lubman. Lubman knocks him down. Gets left with the puck. He takes the puck from Gagne and delivers it to Winnick. Daniel Winnick across the blue line for Corey Perry. Checked by Petrie. Getzlaf keeps it in. Getzlaf to their corner on the near side. Winnick trying to work it back to the point, but instead it's Nail Yakupov. His pass for Hall was too far for him. The Hall was just at the end of the shift. And we'll go back and face off in the Oilers' end.
This perfectly preserved uniform came to us by a generous donation from our champion's wife.
Get your game on with Pools.
Well, Ladislav Schmid doesn't just have the battle of the Anaheim Ducks here as he gets tangled up with Frederic Lecoullier as he tries to come back to the net. And it could have been a real good chance down low as Steffel gets by him all alone. Doesn't quite convert. Wasn't too happy with that. Had a few words, probably not choice words on the way back to the bench, but it's a battle zone down there. Not too many areas you can dodge out of the way, and that one there, the referee gets caught up in the play.
Getzlaf playing it back to the point to Button, but Button unable to keep it in, and now in behind the play. Corey Perry slow to get up. And Ladislav Schmid and Perry tangled behind the net. So Perry makes his way to the bench. We'll make our way out, take a break, and come right back.
The Champions League soccer is down to the semifinals. It all begins Tuesday when Spanish powerhouse Barcelona travels to Germany to take on 2012 runner-up Bayern Munich in the first leg of their matchup. Great soccer action on Sportsnet West, Pacific East, and Ontario. That's Tuesday at 12:30 p.m.
Last shift right before the break, Corey Perry went down a little bit awkwardly with Schmid, but watch Ryan fall down on top of him, so that kind of collapsed his leg even more underneath him, but he looks no worse for wear. He's staying on the bench. Pretty flexible guy.
Yeah, you have to be.
But always a dangerous situation. You get into those tight quarters when you're battling along the boards and you fall down. Sometimes you let them out underneath you in bad positioning. Here, a good finish by Schmid. Watch the right leg of Perry. It's underneath him right here, and it's now caught. And then it's Ryan that falls down on top of him as well and kind of crushes him down. So a good 200 pounds coming down on that right knee. But he does the wise thing. Don't resist against the fall. Just go down.
Play the Oilers, of course, tomorrow, and then Thursday in Vancouver. Quick shot by Hartikainen, and Hitler got a piece of that and sent it up into the netting.
You know, I like that shot from Timo Hartikainen. He can really rip it. When he lets that wrist shot go, it's a zinger. There's no question about it.
21st game for Hartikainen this season. Tagliano to the middle. Picked up by Koivu, and he was almost away. Everly gets stopped up there by Tony Lubman. Koivu again moving in with Tagliano. Tagliano with a wrist shot up high, and that one missed. Winning. Tagliano and Koivu, the forward line. Hall trying to chip it by Beauchemin. Does get to Everly. He's got Gagne with him. 2-on-1 against Lubman. Everly shoots. Hiller makes the save. A penalty on the way. And it's going to be an interference call. Oh, Jordan Everly, what's your nickname for him?
Great job by Everly to walk that to the middle. Good defense leads to offense, and that play the other way was almost a 2-on-1. Watch Cogliano's shot. Great stick here by Fister to get down, deflected up over top of the net. And on the play coming back the other way, it's Hall driving to the net, and Everly, as he often does, head up, works it to the middle, and fires that shot through. And it was Koivu, I believe, coming through that interfered. There's somebody, no sorry, it's going to be Daniel Winnick.
He took out Gagne
Head to the box.
Isn't your nickname for Jordan Everly the Wizard?
The Wizard. Yeah. I know that's Ray Whitney as well, but we'll call him the Magician.
The young
Magician. It's like a magic wand that sticks sometimes.
Second power play for the Oilers. Potter fires that puck. Taylor makes the save, and it comes right back to Potter again. Potter will give it to Yakupov. Nail Yakupov. Catch with Hall back up top. Yakupov again. He fires the shot. It went off Lubman. And now Edith will send it down the ice. Petrie, Hall, Potter, Yakupov and Hartikainen on the power play. 1:24 left to go with the penalty to Daniel Winnick. Taylor Hall runs up. The floor. I think Oilers. Fires it around the boards. Fires it around the boards. The point fired to Yakupov. Cross ice for Petrie. He was checked by Getzlaf. Hartikainen recovers, gets it to Hall, gets the puck right back again. Hartikainen will give it to Yakupov. Yakupov ups. Pop for puck. Petrie not about the one-timer. Yakupov has that big one-timer. Petrie someone grabs that pass. Broken up by Bonino. Comes to Yakupov. His shot is blocked. Hall. Dancing. Hall with a shot. That one up high. And too high. It was knocked with a high stick.
Some good efforts on second efforts, that is, for the Oilers. Just tracking down loose puck, staying in the battle. And Yakupov will come up with a attempted carrying pass here as it gets out of the ice. And good job by him to get to this puck. Eventually this puck here will find its way back onto his tape. And he gets it to the net. And Taylor Hall with some good work in the corner also has another good chance. A lot of bodies diving in front of pucks in front of Jonas Hiller. And it stays out of the net.
A couple of blocks so far for the Anaheim Ducks on this power play that has 45 seconds left in it. Puts it in the corner. The Oilers set to regroup. Hartikainen pushes it to Justin Sholts. He'll play it around the near side. Sam Gagner takes a look. He's got Cogliano all over him. Gets it to Everly. Everly stops. Sholts for Everly. Too far for him. Bolsonac checked by Everly. They both spin around. Good job by Jordan Everly. Good job by Justin Sholts. Tilly trying to get the shot away. Couldn't do it. Cogliano coming back shorthanded. Here's Cogliano cutting for the net. Here's Cogliano. Gets knocked into Dubnyk. Both guys go down. Perry with the puck now. Dubnyk has to go out and take him. Justin Sholts without his stick. The Oilers need to get this puck out and do. The penalty is over. Winnick's back on the ice. Lovejoy throws a hit and then lost his bucket. Getzlaf on the near side. Four Ducks coming across the line. Getzlaf goes to the middle. Here's Perry with a shot up high. Devin Dubnyk juggles it. Makes the save and hangs on. 1-1 to score here. 4-0 to score.
Well, on April 8th, a lot of questions about Justin Sholts and why he decided not to play with the Anaheim Ducks, a team that drafted him. And speaking of 20 questions recently in the Edmonton Sun, you get to learn a little more about Justin Sholts and the fact what he likes to do off the ice when it comes to entertainment and potential vehicles. But the reason that he did decide to come to Edmonton, just to state it one more time, it's a passionate hockey city, and it looks like Justin Sholts is going to have a sensational career with Edmonton.
Number one among rookie defensemen in points, and he is also number 2 in time played. Averages 21 minutes and 26 seconds per game. Anaheim 1 for 3 in the power play. The Oilers are 0 for 2. 4:27 left to go in the second period. Left to go in the second period. 4-0 Oilers. Hits Ryan Jones. Spinning around at center. Here are the playoffs.
Good defensive play. Hall is gone.
Hall almost stole it on Fowler. Fowler recovered. Daniel Winnick with it now. Sacked to Koivu. Tried to get it to the middle. And good defensive play there by Hall. Springs Everly. Everly with Gagner. Everly drop pass for Gagner. Gagner holds on. That's the shot go from a sharp angle. Hiller the save, and he'll hang on. That's the shot go from a sharp angle. Hiller the save, and he'll hang on.
Nice little transition. A good backtrack, as you mentioned, defended by Taylor Hall to get back, break up the play with the stick. The last second dives down, intercepts it. Jordan Everly goes away with Sam Gagner. A little drop pass to the middle. Gagner with the shot wide. And a good job by Hiller here to kind of corral that puck afterwards with bodies coming into him. And you look at what he's done in the last 5 starts. He's played a lot better. And as we heard the debate going on who was going to play in the playoffs for the Anaheim Ducks, both of these guys, Jonas Hiller and Victor Fast, have been very good this year. And I don't think...
So then we'll be able to settle the debate once and for all. Fox got 14 wins, Hiller's got 13.
Pretty impressive when you step into your first year of National Hockey like Fast did this year and win your first 8 games that you play. So that's going to open up some eyes. There's no question about that. It was smart to quickly re-up him for a couple more years.
And it's third all-time to be able to do that. It's 8 wins in your first 8 decisions. Smith sends it around the boards. Too far for Jared Smithson.
Ocean. 3 minutes, 17 seconds to go. 16 shots for the Ducks, 14 for the Oilers. And they score nothing. Dark again. A low score.
Oilers lead the series at 2 games to none.
Total in the last
Oilers
game.
won 6 games in a row.
The Ducks unit goal scored. Stoppage against Horkoff. Stoppage takes a bunt there from Speed. Stoppage goes down. And from Edom. Better pass, and there is Sean Horkoff to break it up. They'll give it to Harnakainen. Harnakainen sweeps it in.
Turn it into the save by David Dubnyk.
Comes to Horkoff, behind it after Harnakainen with a backhand stop by Hiller.
Ocean. Oh, what a save by Jonas Hiller.
He'll play it around the near side. Edom trying to get it by Potter. He does. He gets it right to David. Sickles got stopped with him. Sickles shoot it. Goes all the way down into some territory. Bistrick bringing it in. Mark Bistrick's got Jones in punch. Sharp angle stop. Hiller the save. Wrap around by Bistrick. Jones trying to jam away. Still alive. He gets the whistle. And it stays a 1-1 game. Mark Bistrick. The 4-0 game. In the offensive zone.
Showing some good speed, too. After it was Bistrick that comes up with it. That could have easily been called a penalty. Is what we see.
Jones trying to jam away.
Bistrick scores! And I think, Louis, the goal is waved off. It's 5-0.
Finally, we get the whistle.
Mark Bistrick gets his second goal in the playoffs. But wait, hang on for a second. There's overtime. But really, into the final 2 minutes.
Bringing it in. Bistrick, 1-1 game. Mark took the match.
He's a little bit nasty if he's going to play in the playoffs for the Anaheim Ducks. Both of these guys, Jonas Hiller and Victor, and a good job by him. Last 5 starts, he's played a lot better, and as we heard coming into him, and you look at what he's done in the last 5 starts, he's played a lot better, and as we heard the debate going on who was going to play in the playoffs for the Anaheim Ducks, both of these guys, the debate going on who was going to play in the playoffs for the Anaheim Ducks, both of these guys, debate going on who was going to play in the playoffs for the Anaheim Ducks. Both of these guys, Jonas Hiller and Victor Fast, have been very good this year. And both of these guys, Jonas Hiller and Victor Fast, have been very good this year. And I don't think these guys,
The Oilers
Jonas Hiller and Victor
still
Fast,
leading
have been very good this year.
4-0.
Hiller 4 times lately.
Losing 4 in a row.
Save.
To go wrong start
9-10 season. It's 2-2. The signal there from give it to Hart. Lost it to Harnakainen. He'll play it around offensive zone.
a little bit as well.
Justin Sholts battles in.
What is allowed goal each in 2 periods.
He'll make the save. Winning again towards the net. Banging away at Koivu. Couple of chances. We have seen all kinds of traffic in front of both goaltenders. Leaves it for Hall. Hall. He gets stopped. Talor to Cogliano. Andrew Cogliano with Winning and Koivu. Now it's Talor. His shot. Stopped by Devin Dubnyk. Talor gets it again. Played the ball. And the net. Got by Koivu. It came right to Hall. Hall. Working his way into center. Hall.
In the center. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs on the round. 2 more away from heading to the 3rd round, which is the conference finals.
They're playing a little bit of fire right now, turning over the puck to the Anaheim Ducks. And, for Talor Hall, obviously at the end of his shift, wants to get up the ice and try and gain that red line. Just a little fumble turns that puck over the other way. And a dangerous 2-on-1 with Palmieri and Solani. Good shift for him there, and a good skating shift for Talor Hall once again. But here it is here, wants to go for the one more rush. Good defensive play. They knock that puck off the stick, go the other way, and a good save by Dubnyk to put it up over top of the glass.
13 shots for the Ducks.
13 shots
in this second period. More coming from the second period.
than a minute to go.
Did a good job by Palmieri to stay with this one here. It's just a little redirection up the boards. Very similar to the first goal for Edmonton, the only goal for Edmonton. A transitional play off the boards until Palmieri gets the first shot. A pass attempt blocked by Schmid. It goes right off the stomach, down between the legs, and you'll see it here as it just kind of picks it out right there. And it's a 2-1 game.
And with the same.
And off that puck again, but here it is. Here, less than a minute to go. Less good to set to play.
Three chances for the goal.
That puck off the spear is here. Direct. It goes right up and unfortunately gets himself.
And it's a 2-1 game. Kyle Palmieri now with 10 goals on the season. And Nick Bonino, 1903, the time of the goal. 2 points. Dubnyk juggles. Missed 21 games due to injury. He's back in the lineup. He's got 2 points tonight. Bobby Ryan with a chance. Stopped by Devin Dubnyk.
Save by Jonas Lind.
Playing over Bruce Boudreau. He's been trying to find a little bit of urgency in his team and get them back on track. They've had a terrific season this year. And they've been a team that's been atop of the league or fighting for the top of the league all year long, right from the get. And they've been a team that's been atop of the league or fighting for the top of the league all year long, right from the get-go. But they have had a little bit of a backtrack here. The last 4 games haven't really come out very motivated. He expected that a little bit, obviously, with them knowing that they're going to make the playoffs. There's going to be a little bit of a layoff somewhere, but he wanted to see that intensity, that urgency in this second period did come out, and they played a much different period than that first 20 we saw. There's no question about that. The period did come out, and they played a much different period than that first 20 we saw. There's no question about that.
We asked him this morning about what the key is to dial it in for the playoffs, and he had some salty language.
Like I said, he's been a little bit nasty as of late. He wants to try and get his troops going in the right direction before they get into their real games.
60 goals, they are second in the West. Anaheim with 5 seconds to go. And this period is going to come to an end with 1 goal scored.
The crowd will have at this in the third period.
Kyle Palmieri. Nick Bonino with both helpers.
6-0.
The Ducks won
The
the
Ducks
last game.
lead in the game. In game 3.
Right now, 2 follows 1.
And here his team runs it back.
Right now, 2 follows 1 when it comes to the number Sam Gagner wears, the number we have through 2 periods of play, joined by Mark Spector. And Timo Solani is one of those players I think everybody in the league likes.
Yep.
He isn't quite the same at the tail end of this year as he was at the trying to make an impression.
Heart-to-heart with
Ryan Jones.
upon.
Louis and Kevin, take it away.
All right, guys, thanks very much.
Guys, thanks very much.
Start of the third period, of course.
Win 7 in a row. This is the Stanley Cup playoffs.
The player of one second, I think that 17 goals and 18 goal seasons are nothing to sneeze at for Ryan Jones. We'll see what he does here in the third period.
24 goals.
Jordan Eberle on the ice
Last series.
along with Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall, the goal scorer. Jordan Eberle trying to wrap around. He gets stopped. The puck on the screen. It's picked up there by Saku Koivu. Koivu leads the rush. Koivu trying to feather a pass in for Daniel Winnick. Winnick turns. It's a shot. Go Devin Dubnyk to save. Here's Koivu with a shot, and that is stopped by Dubnyk. And now it's a shot. Go Devin Dubnyk to save. Here's Koivu with a shot, and that is stopped.
He scores. And the Ducks have trailed by 3 goals. It's 4-1.
Dubnyk and now Nick Sholts and Saku Koivu to pushing the Morak.
Gets his point.
See Saku Koivu getting that puck.
The fire piston out there and getting a little battle. He's one of those guys that's not afraid to stand it. Little fire piston out there and gets a little battle. He's one of those guys that's not afraid to stand his ground. For Nick Sholts does a good job to kind of block him out here after the first shot. Didn't like the way he was taken out. They exchanged words and a little scrum. I'm sure they'll probably both go to the box here for 2 minutes. Coincidental. The second period did very well for 17 shots.
Our trades in oil country. Visit WarleyParsons.com/careers and apply today.
1-1 after the first period after Taylor Hall and Cam Talor score respectively in the second period. It's the Anaheim Ducks with another late goal by Kyle Palmieri to make it 2-1 for Anaheim.
Hey, Eagle Eye, good job. You saw Tony Ludman throwing that puck up to Bonino and got it to Palmieri.
Well, this is how it happens. A good job by Winnick to lock this out. The first chance by Saki Koivu afterwards. A nice fluff over top. Sholts didn't like that. Got him in like a chokehold. It looked like after the little struggle. But they'll both go to the box for actually not just two. It's going to be just Koivu for that left struggle. But they'll both go to the box for South. The first chance by Steps. It's going to be just Koivu for that left hand over top.
Here's the third power play for the Oilers, and it comes early in the period.
Look for their 5.
Afterward, I wanted to walk this out. The first chance
Up the respectively today. Scored now are in trades and oil.
and they followed it up. Gets a little battle. He is.
Now Nick has the puck. And Nick sends that puck down the ice.
Here's Nick Bonino. Bonino scores. It's 4-2. Nick Bonino gets his 7th goal here in the postseason.
Well, this is how it happens. A good job by Winnick to walk this out. The first chance by Saki Koivu.
Palmieri.
Well, this is how it happens. A good job by Winnick to walk this out. The first chance by Saki Koivu afterwards. A nice fluff over top. Sholts didn't like that. Got him in like a chokehold. It looked like after the little struggle. But they'll both go to the box for actually not just two. It's going to be just Koivu for that left hand over top.
Here's the third power play for the Oilers. And it's early in
11 seconds.
the period.
Oilers scored at
Tony
2-9.
Lubin. Power play for the Oilers. And it's early in the period.
It's 4-2.
Tony Lubin. Backhanded out. Justin Sholts keeps it in. Sam Gagner went down. Nick Bonino has the puck. And Nick Bonino sends that puck down the ice. Well, we've talked about this so much, how good the Oilers' power play is. In fact, they have scored the 5th most goals. This is an opportunity, Lou, where the offense drives the engine. The engine is the power play. And here's an opportunity right now, early in the game. Let's say this is a playoff game. Let's see. You and I can agree here
In the playoffs.
This is May. They're down by a goal here in the third period. Have a chance to get right back into it.
Maybe for the playoffs.
This is new.
In the playoffs.
Back to the point.
When they scored by 4 and scored 4 goals to tie it and to match it 5 goals.
Takes the shot, gives it to Hall. Hall cross ice to Gagner. Up top for Sholts. Sholts to Hall. Hall to Gagner. It was tipped by Cogliano, but the Oilers able to keep it in. Hall with it now. Sholts. Gagner. Gagner. Man on the attempt. But look at everything. Go in there and recover. Sholts with a slap shot. Talor a juggling save. And it's cleared down the ice by Cogliano. That is a couple of times.
And the Oilers try to shore up
We
their
haven't seen
defense.
Justin Sholts not go to the pass and wrist shot, but wind up and take a slap shot.
That was a good shot that got through. A good save there by Hiller as it was traffic in front, but a little bit too high of a play here by Edmonton. Very aggressive in on. And you see when Justin Sholts gets that puck back, and not a whole lot of time to do a lot. And obviously with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins out, they'll have that passer on the half wall.
The Blue Jays are back on the road this week as well. They visit the Baltimore Orioles at Sports at 1 Pacific and Ontario. Pre-game coverage at 4 p.m. Mountain. Then an American League West matchup from Anaheim as the struggling LA Angels host the Texas Rangers at 8 p.m. Mountain on Sports Network.
Taylor Hall had the box here for 2 as he was coming back on Keaton. Just gets the stick in a little too tight, little can opener move to steal that puck and right to the box for 2.
So 4-on-4 for the next 12 seconds. And then the Ducks will get their 4th power play of this hockey game. Gets loud. Drop pass for Perry. He's going to skate around and wait for the power play to start. And he is sent away right now as Koivu's out of the box. 5 shots on the power play for the Ducks. They scored at 19:58 of the first period. It was Stan Fowler who got the goal. Smithson wraps it around the boards. Kept in by Fowler. Quick pass to Getzlaf. Getzlaf to the side of the net for Perry. Looking for Bonino in front. Bonino gets to the side of the net for Perry. Looking for Bonino in front. Bonino gets flattened. The puck came loose. Referee lost sight of it. Blew the whistle.
And a real good job by Talor to keep this puck inside of Pino that eventually works its way down to him.
Getzlaf, he'll go
A break for Edmonton there as the whistle blows.
Getzlaf wins it back to Fowler. Getzlaf, he'll go cross ice. Tommy Buckman. Back to Fowler at the point. Fowler being wiped by Horkoff. That's a one-timer go. That was blocked by Schmid. Ladislav Schmid. 3 blocks, make it 4 now. Fowler's going to bring it in himself. Wrap it around the boards. Perry waiting for it. Petrie watching in. He lets it go for Getzlaf. And he was tied up by Lander, but he works it free back to Buckman. Buckman will give it to the captain, Getzlaf. Getzlaf down low for Perry. Perry turns up high. The shot stopped by Dubnik. Wrap around attempt by Menino. Denied by Menino. Denied! Branding seconds left to go. And the penalty to Taylor Hall. And another penalty on the way. The penalty to Taylor Hall. Or to Taylor Hall. Here's Taylor Hall. Hall shoots. He scores! Taylor Hall! His second goal of the night! And the lead, the Oilers, is back to 3. 43 seconds left to go, and the penalty to Taylor Hall. The clock ticking. And Corey Perry is forces you just a little bit longer in the stick because he can't wrap it around Barlow. Good chance by him. But obviously there's the cross check by Perry on Petrie coming around. He plays nasty in front of the net. Nasty around the net. And he gets caught that little bit of nastiness there as Petrie is on the receiving end of a pretty good cross. He gets caught that little bit of net. He plays nasty in front of the net. Matches across 5 to Oilers. Petrie coming around. He plays nasty in front of the net. Nasty around the net. And he gets caught that little bit of nastiness there as Petrie. But obviously there's the cross check by Perry on Petrie. Cross check. And he gets caught that little bit of nasty. Plays nasty. But obviously there's the cross check by Perry on Petrie coming around. He plays nasty in front of the net. Nasty around the net. And he gets caught that little bit of nastiness there as Petrie is on the receiving end of a pretty good cross check. 3:47 will go right back to full. Petrie is on the receiving end of a pretty good cross check. 3:47 will go for the cross check. Will go right back to 4-on-4 now for the next. Let's see. 40 seconds. 3:47 will go right back to 4-on-4 now for the next 40 seconds. And we'll be back to 4-on-4 now for the next 40 seconds. And the Edmonton Oilers are back to 4 for the second time. And we'll be back to 4-on-4 now for the next 40 seconds. And we'll lose the play. That gets checked by Yakubov, who pushes it back to Nick Sholts at the point. Nick Sholts will give it to Yakubov. Yakubov shot. Into the left-hand wall for Jonas Hiller. Gives it to Koivu, who snapped the shot that just went wide. Allen at the point. He'll throw it in the opposite corner. Opportunity for Yakubov to pick it up. He will play it behind the net. Corey Potter. Here's Nick Schultz. Nick Schultz takes his time. The Oilers take a chance. And lots of room. And Everly is going to wind up now with speed across center line. Now Anaheim looks for the return feed. Everly in the corner. Puts it around the right. It'll be their 4th power play of the game. Here's Gagne. Cross ice. Ball in the net. Low on the ice. And goes wide. And comes all the way back down into Oilers territory with Justin Schultz. LeBret. Schultz, Gagne, Paul, Everly, and Hartnett. Paul with it now down the left side. Taylor Hall drops it back to Schultz. Schultz takes the shot. He'll go low. Everly with Hartnett in front. Gagne with it now. Gagne, he lets the shot go and snap the stick from Nick Bonino. And Hiller will stop things and allow Bonino to pick up the pieces and get a new cue. Still waiting for it too.
Oh, nice little sequence down low once again. And the Anaheim Ducks have done a great job to be aggressive, really keep the play to the perimeter, good block, but it goes right to Jordan Everly on the side of the net. He tries to jam it once. I think into Hiller looked for a little bit of a bobble so that Hartikainen will have a chance at it, but Hiller does a good job to grab onto that puck and not allow that to happen. But that pass across the top of the formation has been really contested. You see when Sholts gets the puck, not a whole lot of time for him to do anything with it. That top penalty killer has been very aggressive on the puck there.
Yakupov lost his stick, gets it back again. Potter gives him the puck. Nail Yakupov trying to get it to Horcoff, who was picked off by Beauchemin, and then finished off and sent down the ice by Nick Bonino. 10 seconds left to go in the penalty to Corey Perry. A chance for one last rush, and here's Taylor Hall flying. Taylor Hall moving in. Taylor Hall with a shot. And Hiller got a piece of it on the blocker and sent it up into the netting.
Cheers for the home team from the home team. Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Shop at Swipe Your Club Card at Safeway today, and you could be our next lucky winner. Watch future Sportsnet telecasts. You could win an all-inclusive trip for two to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, courtesy of redtag.ca.
I'll tell you, Kevin, after a little bit of a bobbled face-off there, Taylor Hall is one of those guys, when you want the puck, you don't have to look too far because he just gets his feet moving, drives wide. Nice pass by Petrie, tape to tape on the fly, and he gets a real good shot away. Can really fire it off the rush, top speed. And Hiller has to come up with a big save.
A little problem with the clock. There shows 1 second to go in the penalty to Corey Perry. 14:15 on the clock here in the third period. Not too many guys in the National Hockey League can do that well, Louis. That is fire the puck off the rush. And now Perry out of the penalty box. Perry has the blue line, throws it towards the net, goes wide. Koivu with an opportunity in the backhand, stopped by Devin Dubnyk. The Oilers with 20 shots, the Ducks with 28. Ryan Smith out there with Jones and Smithson. Centering pass for Jones, gets by him. Bonino will send away Kyle Palmieri. Palmieri racing towards the goal. Palmieri cuts for the net. Couldn't get a shot away. Take Dubnyk into the net, and it comes off the moorings. Kyle Palmieri has the go-ahead goal late in the second period. Devin Dubnyk stopped it, but he can't stop him from taking the net off. Stopped it, but he can't stop him from taking the net off. 4-2 Oilers. This is the Jamaica playoffs.
On Wednesday, Andy Moog will be joining the Oilers for Once an Oiler, Always an Oiler night, presented by FedEx. As part of his special evening, the first 10,000 fans in the building will receive an Andy Moog mini stick presented by FedEx. Fans will also have the opportunity to win exclusive in-game giveaways. Tickets are going very fast. Visit EdmontonOilers.com to secure your seat today.
29 shots for the Ducks, 20 for the Oilers. The Oilers now 4-7 in the Oilers series against the Ducks. As Lander lets the shot go, and Hiller makes the save, and he'll hang on.
Nice little transition up the ice again by Edmonton, Kevin, and attacking with speed for Lander, getting an opportunity in the second line tonight with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins out for the remainder of the season. So he wants to get in there and try and prove that he can play multiple roles, and decides to take the shot himself, and a good job by Hiller to hold on to it. But for Lander, obviously known as that defensive-minded forward, does have an offensive upside, and with confidence that will come more. A good penalty killer, and now getting a little bit more ice time on that line.
And playing just in his 7th game, a bad break, no pun intended, when he broke his foot. So.
Here's the basket of half-eaten zucchini sticks from the win known as Money Monday.
Get your game on with Pools.
Anaheim Ducks talked about the run they were on. February 9th to March 20th, they went 15-1-4. They're number 3 in the Northwest Division this season.
Yeah, had a trip.
15-5 if necessary.
Rebound.
This is just LaCrest. He'll give it to Nick. Nick throws it towards the net. Hiller gets that one easily. In the crest, and he'll hang on.
And there's another one of those plays, a good face-off one, back to Justin Sholts, over to Nick Sholts, and absolutely nobody in front of the net. And, it's not a hard shot for Sholts, but he's obviously getting pressure from Cogliano coming out, wants to get it to the net. And it's just that lack of urgency, that lack of kind of reading the play and getting to that spot a little quicker to make it a little tougher for Hiller to see that puck.
Quick shot on the face-off win by Lander, and Yakupov let it go. And another guy that can fire that puck. It's Neil Yakupov. Schultz looks at the opposite corner. Lander going after it. Movement gets there first, takes the puck. Daniel Winnick down by Yakupov. Opportunity for Magnus Bjarmi now behind the net. He gets checked by Chris Von Motion after this line, keeping the pressure on the Ducks. The puck comes way out in front. Lander banging away at it. Bjarmi doing a good job against Winnick. Now moving under some pressure. He'll play it around the boards. Up the middle it goes. Andrew Cogliano. Long shot on Dubnik. Want to get a change going. Justin Schultz with it now. Kahardikainen off the end of his stick. Bonino shoots it right back in. Nick Bonino with 2 points on the night. Both of them are assists. Solani keeps it in. Justin Schultz lays it around the boards. Botman with it now. Botman out in front, and it hopped over the stick of Nick Bonino. He might have had a goal. His 6th of the year.
He's had a good game considering he missed the last 20 games with an injury, Kevin, so he steps right back into the lineup. And produces with a multiple-point game. Not too bad.
Hardikainen to Jones. Ryan Jones trying to get it to settle down. He'll play it to the corner. Hardikainen is there. Horcoff with it now. Horcoff plays it back to the point. Corey Potter has a little trouble. Bobbles it at the blue line. And the others will have to regroup. Botman to the middle for Getzlaf. Ryan Getzlaf waits for Ryan and Perry to hop over the boards and go right up the middle for Bobby Ryan. He was checked deeply there by Ladislav Schmid, and then finishes it off by hammering it into the boards. Ladislav Schmid, as Louis mentioned, the leading hitter on this team. Ryan with it down. Ryan to Getzlaf off his skate. Out in front for Perry, and he slides it home. Off his skate. Out in front for Perry.
Out in front for Perry. He scores. And now, the Ducks leading 4-3. The Ducks not leading 4-3, but the Oilers are back to 1.
And that's what you call passing.
3-1.
For Corey Perry, so effective at planting himself in that blue paint, puts the stick down. These two have played together since they first stepped into pro hockey. And just a puck that doesn't get out. And a nice little move here by Getzlaf as he walks around Schmid on the backhand to do it right on the tape with Corey Perry. Actually inside the blue paint. He just redirects it past Devin Dubnik. No chance on that one. He has to respect Getzlaf. And it's a 3-1 lead now for Anaheim. And Corey, you have to respect Getzlaf. And it's a 3-1 lead now for Anaheim.
Corey Perry takes over the lead in goal scoring on this Ducks team. He's got 50. He's got.
And here is Justin Schultz. Justin Schultz, he scores! It's 5-3 Oilers! He gets his 2nd goal of the night. And his 5th of the playoffs.
15 now.
Perry here by Getzlaf as he walks around Schmid on the backhand to do it right on the tape with Corey Perry. Actually inside the blue paint. He just redirects it past Devin Dubnik. No chance on that one. You have to respect Getzlaf. And it's a 3-1 lead. Devin Dubnik. No chance on that one. You have to respect Getzlaf. It's a 3-1 lead now for Anaheim.
And Corey Perry takes over the lead in goal scoring on this Ducks team. He's got 15 now. Corey Perry takes over the lead in goal scoring on this Ducks team. He's got 15.
In the screen, there was the Ducks leading the Red Wings 5-3, the same lead. The fans will go crazy during Game 3. And they will have to get this series back and win.
Bobby Ryan, and that's the line that gets reunited. They'll have to reach into the playoffs for the Anaheim Ducks.
Of course, that'll have to be a top line for UJ Talor.
pushes into the net with Giardi, and Giardi starts away from Hardik. Off the boards, looking for Hardik in a race with Ben Lovejoy. Hardik from the corner. Corcoran cuts over the boards. Hardik goes down, gets back to the puck, takes a puck from the captain. Perry lays off the glass and gets it up to center. Petrie trying to recover. Lost an edge there, right off his own bench for a ball. Takes it up. Sends it around the board. Getzlaf is there to pick it off. Ryan Getzlaf to Perry. His shot deflected into a corner by a good stick from Sean Horton. Here's Perry again. This deflection goes wrong. Perry with it now. The top line starting to fold for the Anaheim Ducks. Getzlaf to Ryan. Ryan throws it in front for Perry. He was being watched by Horton. Here's Getzlaf trying to wrap around. Turns. Centering pass for Perry. He was tied up. And Zaydenko kept in by Lupin. The top line, Louis, is feeling it, as you like to say, and see the result.
You know, the big thing is the size, too. All three guys, Ryan, Perry, Getzlaf, big guys that can hold you off. They don't have to be fast. And when they cycle the puck, they can almost just kind of hang in an area, put their back to you, hold you off, fend off a stick. And they're all good passers and finishers. So a good job down low. They need that big line to going. You look at the Ducks, they have spread the wealth, as far as the scoring is concerned. The guys over 7 goals in the year. They're second only to the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are back in the playoffs now for the first time in 7 years.
First time in 7 years.
Good season for them, and you can see how they play as well. But the Ducks are going to need that scoring depth.
And now
Moving forward.
That 4-game losing streak final, only 5 goals for the Ducks. And now they've got 3 with 8:10 left to go in this third period.
the third period. 5-3 Oilers.
Solani,
Game 3 of the playoff second round.
The fact that Benito's been out of the lineup, and he comes back, gets a couple of points. This Hall moves in. Cross-ice pass for Everton. Gagne behind the net. Hall. Angle shot. Cleared out and down the ice. Nick Sholts will retrieve and pick it up. Sholts finds Gagne. Gagne. Great pass to Hall. Being watched by Fowler. Cam Fowler takes it away. Fowler lays it right through the middle. Solani is there. Winning bobbled it for a second. It's time for the line mistake. Hall able to bring it back in. And there's another opportunity and just send it slowly down the ice. 30-25. The shots favor the Ducks. Oilers were outshot 34-24 in Colorado, but won their 10th game. Then being outshot. Jones to Ryan Smith. Wraparound. They'll get it again. They'll try the other side to get stopped. Jones banging away. Well, that is getting your spade out and digging away. Smithson, Jones, and Ryan Smith. And Ryan Jones is trying to
6-3. It's 5-3 Oilers. In the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's good.
It's time now to play the Telus game of Fan Right, Fan Wrong. The future is friendly. Tonight's question: who led the Oilers in points for the 2011-12 season? Was it Jordan Eberle, Taylor Hall, Sam Gagne, or Ryan Smith? Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or tickets to an upcoming Oilers home game.
Oilers game,
Game
Game 4 and Game 6.
All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit telus.com/hockey.
There's 2 home games left after tomorrow.
Before the Oilers head for the conference final against either Chicago
Saturday.
or
They've got a
Nashville.
Pacific Division opponent in the form of the Anaheim Ducks, who are trying to make it 2 in a row against the Oilers this year. Lays it around the near sideline. Key pinching in. He tries to feed it behind the net, but there to break it up is Tony Lupo. Offside the call. Just a reminder that the replay and live shot from our net cams are brought to you by LASIK MD, providing you with a 20/20 view of all the action.
As you mentioned, Kevin, both goaltenders have had some bodies right in that blue paint on a regular basis tonight.
Total of 57 shots in this hockey game. Just and to break it up is Tony Lupo. Gagne. Behind the net.
Nick Bonino. Scores. It's 5-4. Nick Bonino.
Tony Lupo.
He gets his third and second goal and first goal of the series here in the playoffs.
Just a reminder that the replays and live shots from our net cams are brought to you by LASIK MD, providing you with a
had some bodies right in that blue paint on a regular basis tonight.
Total of 57 shots paint on a regular basis tonight. Total of 57 shots in this hockey game. Total of 57 shots in this hockey game. Solani to the middle for Benito. He'll backhand it in. Nick Sholts will chase it down. Solani on him. Down the boards it goes. Waiting for it. Nail Yakupov off the end of his stick, but he gets it right back again and starts away. Yakupov trying to get it to Lander, was broken up by the crafty Solani. O'Mary with a shot, and that one rises up into the net.
Well, just a reminder, Talor's hockey's back at Russell in 24 hours with the repeat matchup tonight as Anaheim visits Edmonton at 7 p.m. Mountain. And Louis and Kevin have their cots ready upstairs in the play-by-play booth. And then on Tuesday, it's Talor's Flames hockey at 5:30 p.m. Mountain. Calgary continues their 4-game road trip in Nashville against the Predators.
Wish all the travel was this short in back-to-back games. Mark Bistrick against Tagliano, gets it to Jones. 6 goals to win it. I mean, there is Bistrick to get it right back.
Postponed the period by the Canucks.
With it now, John Horkoff stopped up. Here is Potter stepping into a shot. That one is blocked by Daniel Winnick. Daniel Winnick. Dr. Corver wins the goal. By Henderson put it in. Tagliano losing those deals. He'll get there first centering pass. And it's picked up by Koivu. Koivu back to the point, but not ready for it was Ben Lovejoy. Oilers don't have to worry because they thanks for making a change. 5.5 minutes in the third. They have to worry about. They're down by 2. 5-4 Oilers. Corey Potter lays it off the boards. Perry is there on the intercept. Can't keep it in though against Sam Gagne. Everly gets stood up at the line by Fowler. Perry's got it to play it around the boards. Lovejoy sweeps it for Getzlaf off his skate. Here's Everly turning and firing, and that one goes wide. Ben Lovejoy on the board for Perry. Tough sledding for the 2 top lines now to try and get something going. They dig at it from the near boards. It's still alive. The Oilers do finally get it to Everly. And then cleared out. Getzlaf to Ryan. Back to Getzlaf. Comes slowly to Devin Dubnyk. He'll play it himself. Just leave it there. For Jeff Petrie.
And now, Daniel Sedin makes it 7-3 for the Canucks.
Move it out and will. Everly too far in the team. Chase after it against Ben Lovejoy. Get there first. The Oilers get changing. A broken stick and a penalty. And that is going to be Sam Gagne, who's headed to the box. And he's slapped. Fowler's stick, and out. He's slapped.
It is 5-4 for the Oilers.
Sam Gagne in the penalty box. 2 minutes for slashing. The good news, though, our outstanding play, outstanding result. It's brought to you by Remax. They're Canada's most productive agent.
This one happened really early in the game. Walking in hand to be exact. Nice little chip by Petrie to Everly. He just redirects it right on the tape of Talor Hall. 2-on-1. And he just decides to fire this one. He looked past the whole way. Head up, looking for Gagne. Says nope. 5-4 in the back of the net. Early 1-0 lead for the Oilers at that time. Sholts now into a 3-1 lead for Everly. That's how the game started. Watch time.
5th power play of the hockey game for the Anaheim Ducks. They are 1 for 4. They have generated 6 of their 30 shots with the man advantage. Solani with an arrow down to a top guy, and he sends it wide. Bobby Ryan looks to the middle for second quarter. Gets by him. Shot down the ice by Sneed to Smith, and he will finish it off. Smith and Smithson will change. Lander and Horkoff. The penalty killers up front. Petrie and Sneed on the blue line, and Bobby Ryan corrals a bouncing puck, and it comes free, and it's picked up by Antoine Lander. Lander trying to get it to Horkoff, and that was broken up by the crew's favorite guy, Ben Lovejoy. Getzlaf. To the middle it goes. Solani. Perry. To Getzlaf. Getzlaf. And an assist on that goal by Perry in the third period. That's the only goal of this third period so far. Corey Potter's got it, and he'll fire it down the ice. 52 seconds left to go. In the man advantage for the Ducks. A Ducks team that has beaten the Oilers 9 straight and 5-4 at the Oilers coming into this one. Blackman sends it around the boards. Potter's there. Benito takes it off him. Potter's lost his glove. Getzlaf back to the point. Cam Fowler will give it to Getzlaf. Ryan Getzlaf down low for Perry. Perry being watched by Corey Potter. Gets left. Still has it. Gets left. To Perry. And that one deflected high. You can see the chemistry between those two guys.
No question. Nice little pass in that delay. Just the patience to wait out the sticks going through the lane, and he finds it taped for Perry. Gets the shot away.
Ryan Smith into the power play for the Oilers. They're down by 2 with 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go.
25 seconds left to go in game 3.
Fowler, he played it to the
6 wins in a row in the playoffs.
The Oilers with an empty net to shoot at, and he missed. Hit the side of the cage. Indiana looking for his 13th goal of the year.
Yeah, goal against his old team. Good job by him there to get his feet moving, gain that red line. It's not nicely, and he was going to try and pass it for size to shoot.
How about Steckel hitting the post? Winnick deflected. It's 3-1 still.
It's 5-4 still.
Tanner Hall.
For the second round of the game.
Everybody waiting for it there.
Just around the point in the section.
Jeff Petrie. To Sam Gagné. Gagné, checked by Luther. He'll get it to Everett. Wants to handle. Tagliano with another opportunity to put it in the empty net, using that speed, using the backhand, and into the post. 2 posts, using that speed, using the backhand, and the backhander. He scores! Taylor Hall with 1 minute 30 seconds left to go.
The Oilers will take game 4 at Rexall Place.
An early 1-0 lead. An early 1-4. They generated 6. It's evaporated now into a 3-1 lead. An early 1-0 lead for the Oilers at that time. It's evaporated now into a 3-1 lead for Anaheim. But Olay head up, looking for Gagné. And what a goal.
He can't get it by. His ball left in a night.
For Hall,
Perry, and Yakupov.
And Yakupov.
And Sholts gets the assist. To Perry, time left to go. Cannell's got to get off. That's all you get. 1:25 left to go. 1:25 left to go. It came to that kid. Yakupov. 6-4 Oilers lead. Boschman takes a look, thinks about it, gets it to Perry. Perry's in. He can't get it by. His ball blocked in it. Tanner Hall. Waiting for it there. Corey Potter. Corey Potter lost his glove a few minutes ago. He was still off. So get it. Less than a minute to go. Bobby Ryan doesn't go for the empty net. Just sits it slowly down the ice. And then there's Corey Potter. And give it to Hall. Hall, 43 seconds to go. Tipped in by Anton Lander. Racing after it. Magnus beyond. He gets tipped by Boschman. Lovejoy giving a big Sholts. Getting the Warriors. Now an opportunity for Bobby Ryan with an empty net. He gets checked.
He gets checked. 30 seconds. 20 seconds to go.
Nasty Ryan Smith at the time with the great job. Gets back to South. Hall finishes check on Lovejoy. Everett goes late. Ryan gets back to South. Kind of block, and he holds up back under it to try and throw it to the net, puts it off the bar. The first one he had was a little bit more of an open one as he makes a move to the middle and fires it right off the bar there. So a couple good chances to finish this thing off for good. To finish this thing off, but the net stays open. It's still 6-5 for Edmonton.
Andrew Tagliano against his old team, and he has 1 point.
Almost sweep the series.
But the bottom line,
And that's going to do it. Oilers won 6-4 in game 3 of the second round. Oilers won 7 in a row here in the postseason.
game losing streak, and the Oilers their 4th straight loss at home. 3-1 the final here. 6-4 in Anaheim. 10 straight against the Oilers of Rexall.
In Rexall.